Hi, I'm Lady Lecture K, and this is a video talking about the Impy nominations. Now, I'm hoping this is not going to be too controversial to everybody. This is my own personal opinion. There was a little bit argy-bargy on Twitter where people completely misunderstood my post and accused me of things that I never actually said. I had no desire whatsoever to remove anybody's Impy nomination. I want to make that absolutely clear. Media Molecule have chosen these things because they believe they are the best. I have suggested alternatives to who I would have voted for. They've included different people in that nomination. That does not mean I wish to remove anybody's nomination. And in terms of eligibility, I felt a few of these nominations were perhaps confusing as to their eligibility for the 2023 fourth annual Impys. Based on the rules that were laid out by Media Molecule, there have been cases of nominated games that the public nominated for, which were disqualified on a incredibly stringent application of Media Molecule's moderation guidelines. They wanted to make sure, I think, that every single nomination was for someone or a creation where there is no hint of it being more than a Peggy 12 rating. So some people, although they were perfectly fine to be picked, perfectly fine to be promoted and not moderated in any way, found themselves under the scrutiny of moderation guidelines that were more stringent for the Impy Awards. I think this is slightly unfair. Horror games are the ones that suffer the most in this, because the better your horror game, i.e. the more horror there is in your horror game, the less chance you have of actually being nominated for an Impy. So bear that in mind next year. Also, a lot of people voted for creators that were Media Molecule employees, either part-time, full-time, or even just a contractors. So those were disallowed, and so it's really difficult. It's like you don't know when you make your nomination, when you vote, whether or not that vote is going to actually be counted at all. And so you end up, it's not a free vote. That's the point I'm trying to make. The most popular games in Dreams might not necessarily fit the criteria, the type of game Media Molecule want to promote. And let's be clear here: the Impy Awards is a promotion exercise for Dreams and for Media Molecule, and they are incredibly stringent about what they want to promote. And the nominations really reflect that. I feel that they don't want to promote certain things. That's all I can say about that. Okay, so we'll have a look and see how well I did in the picking, which is pretty bad. So let's start off with Excellence in Art Direction, Trip's Voyage, Web of Metal, Jungle Build 2, The Quest for Self-Confidence, and I'm going to come across a few of these. I'm going to mark them out on my screen. You won't see some of these. These are by blocked creators. They've chosen not to be featured, their work not to be featured on my channel, so I'm not even going to mention their names, and their names will be removed from the list, so you won't see them. So Excellence in Art Direction then. I got Trip's Voyage correct here. I think Trip's Voyage is going to be nominated in a lot of categories. I was right about this one, and there is the nomination. Web of Metal, it hadn't really occurred to me. It's a horror game. Like I say, horror games don't do well in the Impys. It didn't really occur to me to choose it. Jungle Build 2 wasn't actually on my list of games to even consider, because it was actually released in 2021 and is outside of my Lexi Awards. So I didn't even consider it. I think Media Molecule will consider a game if it's updated in the year of the Impys, so they have slightly different rules to them. It just wasn't on my list of things. It is very nice. It's got some really nice environment art. I think more environment art than art direction, but this is the category it's in. The Quest for Self-Confidence by Todo. Yes, this has a very distinctive artistic style, so I can see why that's there. What do I think will win? I think it's a toss-up between Trip's Voyage, which I think is going to win a lot of awards, and maybe the Quest for Self-Confidence for the quirkiness and the very unique art style there. So I think it's a toss-up between those two. Excellence in environment art. I suggested somewhere between part one. I wasn't sure whether it would go under art direction or environment art. It's fallen under environment art, so I got that one right. Epsilon. I honestly, I was so taken by the story-driven game that I concentrate more on the story than the visuals, so it didn't come to mind. Sword of Arcana. It is a demo. And I don't normally would consider a demo to be something to nominate. I like to nominate full games, and it's very rare for a demo to, unless it's like very, very full, to make it into my awards. So it didn't really occur to me for this either. But like I say, the rules are different for Media Molecule. Into the Mist, Part Dirk. Park has done a series of these cave pictures, and that one, I don't think that's the best of the bunch, to be honest with you. I think there's other ones that he did last year that was more to my taste, but anyway, Into the Mist is there. And then Vineland 2, again, I concentrated more on the narrative part of that. I thought that was a great storyline. But it also has great visuals. So I think excellence in environment art, my choice would be somewhere between. But I don't know. They might give it to one of the more static things, or they might even give it to Epsilon. I'm not sure about that one. Let's say somewhere between for that one. But I'm not confident. Right, excellence in narrative. Sclerophobia. This did not come to mind. This is a text adventure, and it is very good. Old school text adventure. I can see why that is there. Again, I don't, just didn't occur to me. Epsilon, I did nominate. I did think that would be here, so I got that one right. Ye Olde Opposite Day by Mr. Casey Jones. I think that was very well written, and that might win Mr. Casey Jones's first Impy. He's been nominated so many times and not received anything. It'd be very nice for him to get an Impy this year, if possible. The Quest for Self-Confidence, I don't really understand why that's in the narrative category. I thought of that more visually, but it does have, obviously everything has a narrative, I suppose, but I thought of that more of a visual experience than a narrative one, but it is there. And then there is something that I can't talk about. Right. Excellence in sculpture. This is the controversial section, shall we say. First of all, we've got introducing Fly Million. Now, this turns up in excellence in sculpture and excellence in character design. Now, to my mind, it's either a sculpture or it's a character design. I don't think it's fair to be in both, although obviously character designs are sculptures and sculptures could be character designs. I think to get more nominees in, to get more people to be nominees and promote Dreams, I would have had introduced Fly Million in one category only. It's the only one, other than things like Trip's Voyage, that's in like gameplay and art direction and audio design and things like that. Other than that, it's the only really one that stands out to me as being in more than one category. But I mean, I'm happy for it to be in one of them. I'm not sure that I would have put them in two. It's either a sculpture or it's a character design. I think it fits better in character design, to be honest. The second one, Geiger Bust. Now, it has been altered since, because I went on Twitter and I asked, the question, I thought you weren't eligible for an Impy if you had copyright material in your entry. And Gigabust is a sculpture of a Gigantosaurus from the film Jurassic World Dominion, and it also contains the trademarked logo of the fictitious company Biosyn in there, and also the music from the soundtrack has been imported into Dreams, and that's a big no-no. They even tell you when you try to import music, you're not allowed to import copyright music, which that is. I was very surprised to see that on the list. I thought fan makes would be completely a no-no, and I know that they've been very strict with everybody else's nominations. I really didn't understand how this had slipped through, to be perfectly honest. I have no problem with the dinosaur sculpt if it is a generic dinosaur being added to this list. It's a very nice sculpture, but it is clearly fan art, and as such I thought was not eligible, because, and I don't think it's fair on the sculptors who made their own original designs to see some fan art in this category. And I also don't think it's fair on the people who make fan art and only make fan art, because they wouldn't have nominated themselves, and their fans wouldn't have nominated them thinking it was ineligible, and then they see somebody else's fan art up there and it's like, oh, have I misunderstood the rules? Which was my immediate thought. It's like, have I misunderstood? Are we allowed to nominate fan art? Because if we are, I'd like to nominate 8 Monkey Boy for any of his sculptures. My favourite last year, I think, would have been the Heath Ledger sculpture. It was excellent, but I would have thought it wasn't eligible, so I would never have nominated it. So I am surprised to see it there, and that is the only reason. Now, I understand he's removed all of the copyright material now, so it is just a dinosaur head, and as long as Universal Studios hasn't copyrighted that design, which they could have done, because it is a uniquely designed dinosaur, designed by artists working for Universal, so as long as that isn't the case, then it's fine. I suppose it can stay there. It's very confusing, I think, for voters and creators seeing a fan make there. Right, I hope I've explained myself and how I feel about it. Imp by Lila Cola passed me by completely. Didn't come to mind at all. Sooty's Flower Shop, I did nominate this one. I did think this one, so that is there, that's okay. And then Portraits by Zeke. It didn't come to my mind because in my awards it was more in the painting section, because they are portraits and they're designed to look like oil paintings, and it uses a combination of both sculpture and paint flecks to get that really nice soft effect. So I put it under 2D art because it's designed to look like paintings, and it didn't occur to me to choose them for sculpture, though they were a nominee for my awards, so I'm very happy to see them there. What do I think is going to win here? Sooty Opinions won previously for one of their shops. It's possible they could win again. Out of that lot, it's either that or Zeke's Portraits, I think, is got a good chance on that one for me. Music Track of the Year. I'm glad to see Goth Egg Slip and Fall in there. That was the winner of my music video, and I did say that one, so that is there. That's fine. The Inventor's Machine actually was also nominated for a Lexi Award in the music video category. So I'm pleased to see that there. I'm surprised though, because I didn't think the more classical music would be in this, voted for by people. So very pleased to see that. And then you've got 2 tracks that I had never seen, because they are not Dreams, and I only play Dreams on a regular basis. And that's a Prince Tara track and one from Vid Scully and Ghost Fruit 64. One is a 1980s style pop, and the other one is a game style music. And then there's one that I can't talk about. So who do I think? I'd like to see Goth Egg win that one. I think it's a great video, a great song. I'd love to see that win. But it really is up to the panel of Media Molecule, whatever they like. Musician of the Year, again, I really don't know. Cecil James, who did Goth Egg, has also had some other songs this year. So they're the standout one for me. I'd like to see them win, but again, I'm not really up on everybody's work, so it's really hard for me to decide on those. Excellence in animation. This is where it gets a little weird for me. I don't understand why Noguchi's Bell episode 2 is not in this list. I genuinely don't get it. It was the most prominent animation of the year. It had a load of promotion. It was crowdfunded. It's the highest. I think it's the. Am I right in saying that? Let me just check. I might be wrong. Let me just check. Animation. Okay, so the highest, the most liked animation of the year was T-Rex Breakout, which is not eligible because it's a fan make. And then Noguchi's Bell episode 2 is the next one on that list. It's the 26th most popular dream of the year, and it's not there. Astrothum is not in the top 50. Duet 2 is not in the top 50. Scraps is a game, and I can't talk about that one because I don't know it. And then we've got Animals Gone Missing by Willie the Bob, not in the top 50 again. Though I did say that I think they would be nominated. I think Run Dill Run is slightly better than Animals Gone Missing, but that's the first one of the series, so I think that's probably why they picked it. I've got no problem with these things being in there, though I think game animation is a slightly different skill to movie animation, and I think there should be 2 awards, one for game animation and one for movies, because lumping them all in here like this, I think is a little awkward. People put cutscenes in their games. That's one thing, but I don't know. It seems a bit odd to me. I think movies should have their own category, but I don't understand why Noguchi's Bell is not there. I'm thinking now that Ninja Cat is possibly got content in there that Media Molecule does not like. That's the only thing I can think of. I nominated them so that they were on their long list and they've ignored it completely. I can only assume stories of bounty hunters and things is too risque for them. I've no idea. I genuinely don't know. Maybe somebody that makes Ninja Cat, it works for Media Molecule on the side. Could be that. Don't know. But both my 2 favourite animations of the year not there. Not really happy about that, but Media Molecule's decision, Media Molecule's choice. Excellence in gameplay. I got Trips Voyage right. I was right about that. Heli Taxi. Genuinely, totally forgot about Heli Taxi. It's a nice little game. I'm not very good at it, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why it didn't come to mind, because it's not a game I played very much because I couldn't get hang of it. But happy to see it there. Trips Voyage. Friend Request. That really surprised me. Genuinely, it's a game about Stalker. I found it a very odd game, and I found it strange that it's there, but there we are. Can't talk about that one. And then you got Chip Off the Old Block. I should have thought of that one. That's got excellent gameplay in it. It won my puzzle category in my Lexi Awards. I really should have thought about it. I didn't. Happy to see it there. That's an interesting list. Right. Who do I think will win that? I think that's Trips Voyage. Did I mention the other one? Animation. They'll probably give it to Bison. They give Bison it every year, or they might give it to Willow the Bob. Not necessarily for Animals Gone Missing, but for the whole series, I would say. Right, most original gameplay. These are I didn't get any of these right. I was expecting to see some of the original gameplay. I'm very surprised that Wibble Wobble isn't here. It's not. We've got Meta Innocence, which I really didn't like. I'm not a big fan of turn-based combat, and this combined fishing with turn-based combat, which I found really strange, but there you are. Rift 7, spot the difference? Yeah, okay, it is an original gameplay. The trouble with it for me is the flicking backwards and forwards between dimensions give me a headache, so I won't be playing an awful lot of that. A Kid's Journey to One-Shot Everything Idle, really popular, but it's not a game that you actually play. You sort of watch it. You're sort of sitting around watching it more than doing anything. It's a bit of an odd one for original gameplay, unless they mean like the originality of this gameplay is you don't actually play. Bit strange. Strain, I'd never seen it. I did not see it. It did not crop up. It's not in the top 250 games. It was a demo from Dreamscom, and I just didn't see it. It didn't pop up. I don't know whether it's unlisted or what, but I'd never seen it before. I've played it. It's very good. And it is very original. You're caught in a dead body. But again, you know, I would have thought that was a sort of risque topic. You know, you're dragging a dead body around for Media Molecule to want to promote. This is what I mean. You see, there's no way you can even second guess what Media Molecule is going to think is determine is acceptable or not. It's very strange. Cubus. Yes, I had that in the innovation category, so that makes sense. Most original gameplay, yeah, that's fine. What do I think would win here? I genuinely don't know. Possibly Strain. I mean, it is, but maybe Cubus. It's more family friendly for Media Molecule. So let's say Cubus, because I am not actually, or maybe Spot the Difference. I'm not sure. Right, Curation Star. This is the one that I thought I had most chance of being nominated in, and I'm there, so that's nice. Ugly Sofa Gaming, I didn't have them under this one. I think I had them under some of the others. I think they crop up a little bit later on. Oru223 I wasn't aware of. Apparently he makes collections of assets. Flash Medallion makes Dreams collections. Fluffy and Sassy, presumably for the music collections for the music streams that they do. Who's going to win this? I don't think I'd like to say, because okay, let's imagine I haven't won it. Who would I pick out of that lot? I don't know, quite frankly. Maybe Ugly Sofa Gaming. They do a lot for the promotion of Dreams. Maybe go for them. I genuinely don't know. Right, excellence in character design. Here's Fly Million again. We've already mentioned them. Agatha Grindle, which is something I'm not familiar with because it's an element and not a dream. It's a nice little clown character. Scraps by Mitamak. Interesting little character, but if Scraps is in there, why isn't Durl in this list? Which is who I thought would be in here, but I think people went for elements, and I just don't know what's in the elements section. Norm, it says Norm the Herald. It isn't. It's Norm the Herald. They've spelt it wrong here. They haven't corrected it. Terrible. It's not on in Dreams, so you have to go and hunt it down in the actual Dreamiverse. And then Dragon Slayer by Tiny Diorama, which I did nominate, and I'm quite pleased to see it there. I think that was one of his best ones for the year. It's a duck in armor, so I'd like that one to win. Dragon Slayer by Tiny Diorama. I think they've done a great job all year, and I'd like to see something that they sculpted to win a MP. Right, excellence in audio design. Again, here's Trip's Voyage. I said audio design was a really difficult one to decide on. Noguchi's Bell is here, so that just proves that it was eligible Otherwise, it wouldn't be in this category, and yet it wasn't in animation. So I'm even more confused now. Then we got Facility, Elizabeth Vitae. That's an arcade style game. Again, not in my top 250 games, so it didn't really occur to me. Touch Everything. I thought of more of a visually than audio design, but it has lots of sound effects in it, so I suppose that's right. And then there's one I can't mention. I think Trip's Voyage might get audio design. I think that includes soundtrack and sound effects and everything. So I'd say Trip's Voyage, but maybe Noguchi's Bell, because there's lots of nice voiceover acting and sound effects and music and everything in there. So it'd be nice if they got something, but why it's not nominated for animation, I still don't understand. Right, Innovation in Create. I did quite well here in that I suggested Todo and I suggested Dorian, and both of them have got some creations in here. My favourite Grip Gold is ineligible because King Bowo apparently is a nom de plume for a Media Molecule employee. So I didn't know that, and therefore I have a wasted vote. I didn't get a chance to nominate somebody that could actually win it. So we've got Looking Through, which I think is very good. Visual puzzle game, very unique, using text gadgets. You've got Endless Crowd Experiment, which has lots of people all staring at you. It's a bit creepy, to be honest. Bendy Man, just a bendy character model. Pick Importer Templates. Now, this is a game changer for Dreams. This allows people to import photographs, real photographs, into Dreams using audio. It's a bit like a fax machine, I think. It uses sound to create image. It's really technically amazing. I have no idea how it works, and I have no idea how to use it, but potentially huge game changer by Coinham there. And then you've got Minor Day, Dorian Yu using the new time gadget, which Media Molecule might like to promote. Dorian's been nominated for multiple Impies. I don't think he's won one. It'd be nice of him to get one, but to be honest, I think it's a toss-up between Looking Through for visual innovation and the Pick Importer for technical innovation. Whether or not they'll be happy about Media Molecule promoting an importer of pictures, which could technically cause them some issues with copyright, because people will want to import Spider-Man and the Avengers and things like that. So they might not pick that, though I think that is technically the most innovative of the choice. So I'm thinking they're going to give it to either Todo's Looking Through, or maybe Minor Day, because they want to promote the fact that they launched a new gadget this year. I don't know. It's possible. Right, Community Star. It's really open category. I'm not even going to guess at these. Nefrendel is there, which I'm very pleased to see. Finny Dreams, I mentioned, is there. Red Saikatsu is there. Mighty Vicious, which is the podcast. I couldn't remember the names of the people who did the podcast. They're there. Ugly Sofa Gaming, who I also nominated. So quite a lot of the people that I suggested are there. So it's like open season. I have no idea who they're going to vote for. Who would I like to see? Red Saikatsu possibly for the Let's Dream series. I think did a lot this year to promote Dreams. So maybe them. But I'm happy to see any of those people win an award. That is fabulous. Right. Excellence in voice acting. Red Saikatsu for Red and the Phantom Castle remake. Elfiu in Il était une fois. That's interesting because that's in French. So it'd be interesting to see if somebody could win the voice acting speaking in a language that is not English. That would be a first. So, yeah, interesting. And then you've got Kimeraki, Apes on Fire, and Zodira. There's the three female voices. And we've never had a female winner, I don't think, for voice acting. In fact, I think the voice acting's gone to people like Cal B. Jones a few times. He was not on this list at all this year, which is a surprise. That was the one I thought was a shoe-in, but not this year. So any of those, I think, is a worthy winner, to be honest with you. So who do I think can get it? I genuinely don't know. I'd like to think Elfew would get it, on the basis that they want to be inclusive to everybody around the world, and it'd be nice to see that people that don't speak English are also catered for in Dreams. So maybe Elfew, but who knows? We'll see. Most helpful dreamer. I was right. Tap Giles is right up there, number 1 on that list. Everybody else there, I don't know what they've done or anything else. Intro Trackout's got an account, YouTube account and do videos, so maybe them. But I think Tap Giles might win this one again. We'll have to wait and see. Contribution Beyond Dreams. Again, I said this was a difficult one. We've got the podcast people, Elka Gaming, Kaduku, who I forgot about because they didn't release this year. I don't think. I think it was the year before. And that's the Dream Stats. But they did release tournaments this year on their website. And I'd like to see them win, I think. We've got the Infinity Dreams there. I don't know what Kimaraki has done or Elka Gaming has done outside Dreams that people nominated them. So maybe they did something marvellous, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Kaduko. Or maybe the Infinity Dreams team. We'll see. Excellence in VR. I can't really discuss them because I can't play them. So I'll just leave those alone and move on. Evolving Experience. I'm surprised to see Trip's Voyage here, to be honest. My reading of the category was more things that have been around for a while, that have been adapted and changed and re-released and all the rest of it. So I was thinking remasters, remakes, so Ascent, Little Ninja, all of the things that got remade this year. I was also thinking of things that have been around for a while as demos, suddenly becoming a game. Trip's Voyage, yes, it did have a demo in the previous year, so I suppose that's okay. But the Backrooms, that's all this year. I think this is more an episodic experience rather than an evolving experience, but I think people... difficult to understand what that category was about, to be honest. Liminal Mystery Box, again, I don't know how that's been updated and changed and everything, because I very rarely go back to a game. Again, with Rift 7, that seemed to just come out this year. I don't know how that evolved. And Trickabiddy Bus Company, they're adding things that they're doing it like a community event type thing. So I would have put that more in the community event section than evolving experience, but there we go. Who do I think is going to win this? I've got no idea, because it really does depend on what counts as how these are evolving experiences. So don't know. Maybe Trip's Voyage again. I don't know. Not sure about that one at all. Community collaboration. We got an Ofrendo. I'm really pleased to see there with the Community Garden event. I did say I'd like to see them nominated. Giblets 2. I noticed Giblets wasn't nominated at all in any of the categories for interesting gameplay, original gameplay, anything like that. I'm surprised to see that not there. Dreamflix Season 2. Il était une fois by Infinity Dreams and Dreamfest. I voted for Nefrendo. I'd like to see them win because the Garden event was really marvellous. There's lots and lots of new assets added to the Dreamiverse for it. And so I think that would be my winner. Let's see. Breakthrough Dreamer. Marshall's Account, that's the one I nominated. So Marshall's Account has had a few hits and was very, very popular last year with the Backrooms games that they made. But they made some other things as well, so it's not just the Backrooms. And then we've got Boo Man, Franz Boy, Pickle Wickle, and Uro223. There's a mixture of creators here. Pickle Wickle does horror, I think. Uro223 is a curator. You saw him in the curation list. So I don't know. This is sort of open to Media Molecule who they want to give this to. Could be anybody. They might not want to give it to Marshall's Account because it's a horror game. I don't know. I've no idea. It could be anybody. Creator Team of the Year. Again, this is incredibly open. We've got Dreams Fest Team. Ufalace is there, who I thought would be nominated because of Trip's Voyage and the domination of that game. Red Saikatsu is there. Todu. Z Exodus team. I forgot all about Z Exodus. They're there, but that game is pretty close to being a fan make of something else, so they might not choose that. Willow the Bob. Somebody there I can't discuss. Right, okay. Creation of the year. I think this is Trips Voyage's game. Interesting what's here. Got Heli Taxi, Dreams Fest, Bose Island, Friend Request again, Rid, Memories of the Elders, not nominated for anything else, Sword of Volcano, Gaia Hawk, not nominated for anyone else, and Z Exodus 2, not nominated for anyone else, and one I can't talk about. So, I still think this is Trips Voyage's award. So there we go. We'll see how many of those I got right. Probably none of them. It is entirely up to Media Molecule and their panel of experts drawn from the industry. Depends on what they deem to be acceptable winners. Hopefully, everybody in the list that they've nominated is an acceptable winner. So it is, anybody's. Yep. It's going to be interesting. So we'll wait and see on March the 26th when they announce the results. See how many of those I got right. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.